Hi, this is Stephanie Miller from The Stephanie Miller Show. Please enjoy this exclusive clip from my show on Political Voices Network. I saved this for you because the new book, Separation of Church and Hate by John Fugelsang. It's
next year, people, next year.
Yeah.
Okay, because I know you want to hear Donald talk about religion. Which one?
Oh, yes.
Is this 10? Yes, please. Okay, go ahead.
If you're religious, you have, I think, a better feeling toward it. You know, you're supposed to go to heaven, ideally not hell.
What?
But you're supposed to go to heaven if you're good. I think our country's missing a lot of religion. I think it really was a much better place with religion. It was almost a guide, you know, to a certain extent it was a guide. Mm-hmm. You want to be good to people. Without religion, there are no guardrails. I'd love to see us get back to religion, more religion in this
wasted.
country.
Yeah, first of all, A, he's wasted, and B, apparently religion was canceled, John, and no one told you. We don't apparently have religion, apparently.
Yeah, wow. Let
and
me
who
just
better?
begin by saying, I'm old enough to remember when our media would talk about the age and mental acuity of presidential candidates.
Right.
You guys remember those
Yeah,
days?
I do remember
when that happened?
I remember that, yeah.
I really couldn't hear the clip of Donald Trump talking about religion over the sounds of angels coughing up blood. So you might play it again for me.
What was the thing he said? I did a quote yesterday, John. It's just, I don't even know how to talk about it. You talk about this way better than I can because I do not get it. How they could ever follow the least Christ-like person in the world. He asked him about what's your relationship to God? He's like, they're good. The evangelicals love me.
Yeah.
They pray for me all the time. That's not about your relationship. It's always just about him. They love me. They pray for me all the time. Yep.
You're shocked that the same people who supported slavery, who supported segregation, the same people who still defend monuments to white supremacist Confederates who took up arms against America so every black person in this country would be born the property of a white man. You're shocked that these low-frequency fake Christians support a con man who stole from vets with both his fraudulent charity and his fraudulent online school? Are you really surprised? We have crappy white people. It's our number one export. And we are the only country on earth, the only country on earth where our Christianity is historically intertwined with white supremacy. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I don't feel shocked at all that this many people support Donald Trump. And by the way, they're all going to deny they ever supported him within 10 years, the way they all deny they ever supported Bush and Cheney now.
Mm-hmm. My home invasion insomnia the other night brought me Leap of Faith, Steve Martin movie.
Okay, yeah.
But just reminded me of, Trump and every other cheap, grifting, religious con man ever. I mean, you said the blaspheming shepherd feeds his sheep.
That's it. I mean, look, there's no Christ-based justification for Trump support. Let me say it again, because y'all can say this to your coworkers and your relatives and whatever. There is no Jesus-based justification for Trump support. If you're going to follow Donald Trump, you have to throw out the Jesus teachings. You can't follow Matthew 25, where Jesus says individuals and nations must welcome the stranger and provide care for the sick and care for the poor. You can't believe that and then support its opposite. There's Christ following. Love. And America's full of Jeebus Club folk. Did I drop out?
You're fine. You're back. Yes, you quoted Jerry Falwell Jr., who said, I think evangelicals have found their dream president. And you just said in a broken age, it's rare to find something so perfect.
Yeah, well, there you go. Thank God I've got guys like Dave Rubin and Tim Pool to tell me who I should hate, because that's what good Christians do. Here's the one last thing.
I just had a flashback of you doing Jerry Falwell Jr. and our sexy liberal COVID with a bunch of tissues around your ankles and your pants and lotion. Okay,
well, yeah,
go ahead.
He was going for, what was it called? The, oh God, I forget the bit, but yeah, that was one of my favorite bits I ever did, and I almost got arrested in Central Park for having my pants down, calling out the guy.
Wow.
Okay.
If you go to a church and they're not telling you to love your enemies, but they're telling you who your enemies are, you're not really in a church.
Yeah.
And that's what Trumpism is.
So listen, is this I'm gonna give you all the credit for this. Pastor sees cracks in GOP stronghold on evangelical Christian voters. Pastor Doug Paggett of the Vote Common Good said,
He's great.
he said, He wrote, "How I've been convincing Christians they don't have to vote Republican. We've been seeing cracks since after Trump's election in 2016. He received nearly 81% of white evangelical support in 2016. But he was saying largely because he picked Mike Pence, which, do you feel like go ahead. Do you feel like there's any movement between, people waking up, Christians actually?
Well, none of this is ever going to change. I mean, when Donald Trump's gone, they'll be less powerful. But we're dealing with 2 generations of Christians in this country, and only this country, who have been raised since the late 70s, early 80s. 2 generations groomed to believe that Christianity means criminalizing abortion. Mm-hmm. That's all they believe in. If you're putting women in jail for something the Bible never mentions, you're a good Christian. That's it. They don't care about the things that religion actually calls for. They are blaspheming bubbas, Stephanie.
Yep.
And it's, again, this is the triumph of Jerry Falwellism. Donald Trump, this rapist reality TV landlord mediocrity, is the triumph of Falwellism, because this 2-generation movement of criminalizing abortion happened with this guy, and all Christians had to do was vote for the opposite of everything Jesus ever talked about. They're not Christian, and the media perpetuates this by letting them call themselves that.
You retweeted Joel Berry. I forget which misogynist he is, but one of them.
Yeah, he's one of those Babylon Bee heroes.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
he said abortion is the fault of men. Men fought for its legalization. Men allow it to continue. Men use it to escape responsibility. Only men will end it. You just said, sit down, ladies. We're the only ones who can be trusted to properly control and regulate you. I still think they have no idea what's coming in November. Pardon me.
I also just say there is Hiroshima footage that is funnier than the Babylon Bee. I've seen it. Funnier. Jerry Lewis's The Day the Clown Died Holocaust movie is funnier than the Babylon Bee.
Today, we're delving into a question that cat owners and enthusiasts have pondered for ages. Why do cats seem so aloof? Let's scratch beneath the surface to understand the feline mind and their seemingly indifferent behavior.